Hi everyone, welcome to the channel, or welcome back if you're a returning watcher. I'm George, I'm the Good Lad Gamer, and today we're pulling any shards really, because I have a certain lacking of sacred shards on this account, which is very rare for me, but I'm going to be pulling any shards that I can to complete the champion chase tournament needed for the Mad Hatter. I'll go through the Mad Hatter's kit in a minute, but I just wanted to do a little intro to say hello to everyone, welcome back, happy new year. I'm back to pulling shards at the weekends, and hopefully you guys enjoy it just as much as I do. Before I get into the meat and potatoes of the video, guys, I just want to say if you enjoy my content and want to see more of it, please like this video and subscribe to my channel. Subscribing makes a huge amount of difference to me. I've got about 250 subscribers, and my big milestone that I'm looking for, the big number that I'm looking for, is 300 subscribers. I know that with 300 subscribers, people actually enjoy my content and want to see more of it. So if you do enjoy my content, like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's get into pulling these shards. So I haven't done this for a while, but I am going to go through the Mad Hatter's kit before we get into pulling the shards, just so we all know what I'm sort of aiming for, what he's about, if he's any good. I haven't actually looked through his kit yet, so I don't know if he's any good, but we're going to look for his kit and hopefully he's a good one. Some of these shards can be a bit funky, but we'll see how it goes. He's got a cool skin, I'll give you that. He's a really cool looking champion. That staff with the sort of floating cauldron on it is really cool, and he's all part of the, I think he's part of the Alice in Wonderland theme of champions that are coming in. He's a Knight Rev, he is Force Affinity, and he's a support champion. And on his A1, he attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has a 25% chance of sealing one random buff. Each hit also has a 75% chance of applying a debuff spread effect, taking one random debuff from the target and placing it on all enemies under Hex debuff. So you'd hope that there's Hex in his kit. On his A2, attacks all enemies, has a 75, 100 when booked, of placing a Hex debuff and a 25% weaken debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. The ally with the highest crit damage will team up and join the attack. The ally joining the attack will also use their default skill. The damage dealt by the ally joining the attack will increase by 10% per each debuff on the target. And then on his A3, increases the duration of all buffs on all allies for 1 turn and decreases the duration of all debuffs on all allies for 1 turn. Also fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. And then on his passive, every 10 turns taken by allies heals all allies by 20% of their max HP. There is important, not his max HP. Every 6 turns taken by the enemies places a true fear debuff on all enemies for 1 turn. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. And he's got increase all ally accuracy in all battles by 60. So, I mean, he's a good champion. I don't know about this A1. I guess with a debuff spread you could put on, I don't know, decrease defense or decrease attack, but it's very niche that a champion just does one of those and just sticks one of those on one of the enemies. So I don't quite know about that, but the Hex and the Weaken is really good. I don't know if we've got any other champions that do a Hex and a Weaken rather than a decreased defense and a Weaken. So that's pretty cool, and he can increase the buffs on all allies for 1 turn. So maybe with someone who's good at math and good at working these things out, maybe he could be part of like an affinity team in Clan Boss or something like that. With the Hex and the Weaken, he might be quite useful. Not 100% sure on that. It would have to take in the account that he increases turn meter, but I'm no good at that stuff. I'm no good at working it out. I look up other people's guides for that sort of thing. So that is the Mad Hatter. I think he looks really cool. I'm going to get him just because he looks cool. I'm just going to put that out there, just because I think he looks like a cool champion. I'm not too bothered about him joining any of my teams. His kit doesn't jump out at me, but he is a cool looking champ, so I think he'll be look quite cool in my roster. The other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, and maybe I should have read this up before doing this video, but looking at the Champion Chase tournament, we've got these 2 items in the winning, in the rewards that you get, and I don't know what they are. I've had a very, very quick look at the different sort of sections of news that the game brings out, and I couldn't see anything, but I wanted to make this video, so I rushed into it. I don't think I have enough shards to be able to pull 5,500 on this account, on my Galek account in particular, but I am going to try my hardest. it might be important that we need these. I'm not 100% sure, but I am going to give it a go. So that's all of the sort of cleanup and sort of the stuff that I wanted to do before I got into pulling shards. So I guess there isn't much else to do but pull them. I am going to pull, before we get started, Stock. I've had Stock waiting in the wings. He's going to be 500 points for the Champion Chase tournament, and I won't say no to that. But that's exactly why I keep the fragment summons waiting in the wings for these events, because I don't need Stock. I didn't need him in any of my teams, so he was good to have there just as a backup in case I didn't have enough Sacreds for the next big Champion Chase tournament or Summon Rush or something like that. So there we are. We have Stock, a new legendary added to the roster. I've got him waiting in the wings on my Kale account as well, so in a minute I'll be pulling him on my Kale account. So that's it. Let's get into pulling these shards. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm not sure how it's going to go. We do have, by the looks of things, a 10 times on Lausanne Cleth. I don't know anything about Lausanne Cleth. If we get him, I will go through his kit. He's a cool looking champion. Some thick boy armor right there. If we get him, I'll go for his kit and we'll work out if he's any good. If we don't get him, I won't. So, Sacred Shard number 1. Let's go. Come on, Sacred Shard. Okay, we got an epic on the first one. On to the next one. Another epic. A Jotun. Not interested. Moving on. I don't know what I'm going to do on this Galek account. I don't know if I'm going to have to pull other things. I'm not 100% sure. We've got a Malkith Bloodflock. Not interested. Come on, at least one legendary. One legendary. Another epic. Jeez. Tomoe. Tomo. This game does me dirty with the names. I'm telling you. It does me dirty. There's a legendary. There we go. And it is Krokmar the Devourer. Let me just make myself familiar with Krokmar's kit, and then I'll be right back and I will go through his kit, his or her kit with you. Okay, so on Krokmar's A1, we've got attacks one enemy, attacks all enemies one time if the first attack is critical, so that's really easy to control. Unless you get a weak hit, you just build Krokmar with 100% crit rate. On the A2, we've got attacks all enemies, places a shield buff on this champion for 2 turns, equal to 20% of the damage inflicted. Also heals this champion by 10% of their max HP for each critical hit. So again, just build Krokmar with 100% crit rate. On the A3, places a 30% increased crit rate buff and a 30% increased crit damage buff on all allies for 3 turns, then grants an extra turn. And then on Krokmar's passive, whenever this champion attacks, decreases the target's attack or defense by 5%, as well as the accuracy or resistance by 5%, depending on which stat has the highest, stacks up to 30%. So there it is, my first legendary, and I'll take that as a win. I don't know if Krokmar has a place in any of my teams, but I'll take it as a win. Let's go see how many points we got and see what I need to do to get these weird mask thingies, because I'm not sure. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. Am I missing something here? Have I missed some crucial news that I needed to see? I'm going to go for them anyway, but I don't really know. I don't know if I've got enough shards, to be honest. What we'll do is we're just going to go through the different rarities of shards, keep pulling them until I get 5,500 points, I think. That's all I'm going to do. So Primal Shard number 1, a mythical. It's a rare. Of course it's a rare. Totem. Moving on. I've never pulled a mythical, and I don't reckon today's going to be the day. Grandmaster. Go away. Come on. At least a mythical. No. All rares. Of course, I've only ever got rares, I think, from Primal Shards. So they can go away. They can go in the bin. Let's see if we got anything else. Nope. Not enough points. I don't even know how many points. 10 points per rare. So that's good. Moving on to Voids. I'm just going to pull. I'm just going to do it. Hopefully we can get a legendary out of it. Or maybe I'll do Ancients. I'll do Ancients for now because Voids are way more important to get Void Legendaries out of them. So 10 Ancients. This is going to be rough. Oh, this is going to be rough. There's no ×2. It's going to be a bad one. But we're going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm not scared. I'm not scared, guys. Rares. Hey, a legendary. Look at that. See? I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. We've got Drokol the Gaunt. And this guy, I don't think he's very good. But he's been an absolute menace to me in the Cursed City. He's an absolute menace, and I can't take him down. I don't know what he has. I don't know what stats they gave him for PvE content, but he is a bit of a menace. So, on his A1, attacks one enemy, has a 20% chance of placing a stun debuff for 1 turn. On his A2, places a 50% increased attack buff and a 60% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns. Also places a block damage buff for 1 turn on allies with less than 30% HP. And then, on his A3, if I get tongue-tied with these, places a shield buff equal to 15% of this champion's max HP on all allies for 3 turns. Passive effect, heals each ally by 15% of this champion's max HP. Whenever a shield buff placed on this skill expires, is removed or is broken by an enemy attack. Then places a shield... when a shield is broken, the heal occurs instantly before any remaining damage from the shield breaking attack is taken. I should have read the Ascended version. The Ascended version adds in a counter-attack if the shield is broken by the looks of things. So, not that much different, but a counter-attack is pretty good, pretty cool. And then he has increased ally HP in all battles by 25%. So that is legendary number 2. And I'll take that. I'll take 2 legendaries. I'll take that. We're not going to get any more. Let's go see how many points I've earned. Have we earned any more? Go away, pop-ups. Champion chase. Right, okay, so we're doing all right on points. How many do I need? I need quite a few. Let's just keep... I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to do it. I don't know if this is reckless. I don't know if this is a bad idea. I've got loads of Ancients because I haven't pulled any in ages, so I'm just going to keep going. Hopefully we get another Legendary. That'll be pretty nice. That'll be pretty cool. More Legendaries out of Ancients than on the ×2 for Sacreds. We got Sinesha in there. Is it Sinesha? Keys, whoever that guy is, Canoness, all rares. I'm going to make a little bit of room and I'm going to make a little bit of room and I will be right back. Okay, we're going to do some more Ancients, another ×10 Ancients. This isn't what you guys signed up for. I'm sorry. You wanted to see Sacreds. I wanted to do Sacreds, but I didn't have enough. I don't know why I've been stopped from having Sacreds. I'm not 100% sure. On my other account, on my on the Kale account, I've got loads of Sacreds, but on my Galek account, they've just stopped for some reason. I don't know if they've been taken out of the clan boss or something like that, or they've been reduced in the clan boss. I'm not 100% sure, but it's quite irritating. We've got Hotatsu on that one, but I'm not really interested in epics. Never really interested in epics. I've got all the epics I'll need to gore. Another legendary would be nice. Please game. Let's do a quick fire one. More rares. Let's see how many points I've got. I think I need another sort of 500 points. I need 1,000 points, guys. 1,000 points. That's rough. I might do one temple of voids. I'm going to make a little bit more room. I don't know if the voids is a good idea. I'm going to make a little bit more room and I'll think about it while I'm doing it. I'm not going to do the voids, guys. It's too rare. Without a ×2 event, it's too rare that you're going to get any legendaries or anything like that. The ancient shards come in a dime a dozen for me, so I have plenty most of the time. But the voids, they're more of a rare resource, and I'm a bit too scared, a little bit too scared to pull them. So I'm just going to keep going with the ancients. And you know what? Yeah, what's the worst that can happen? If I run out of ancients, it's not that bad. If I run out of voids and I don't have any to pull when there's a ×2, I'm gonna be upset. you know? So I'm just going to keep doing Ancients for now. We got 100 points on the last one. We need 1,000 points. It'd be really nice if we could get some more epics in there, just to sort of buffer these points. And Azana up here. This is a rough one. They're all rough, actually, but at least I got some legendaries on this one. Sometimes I don't even get that. Not all rares. Another 100 points. Oh, God. Rearguard Sergeant. Arndulf, Sandlash, Survivor. So, yeah, 820 points. That's a nice, healthy amount. That's to get me towards the champion chase points that I need. I'll take that. And there we are, guys. I've got the weird masks. I don't know what they are. Please do let me know in the comments. Oh, yeah, I do know what they are. Alright, I'm being a bit stupid, guys. I probably didn't need them, to be honest. But it was probably entertaining to watch me suffer. Let me log into my other account, my Galek account, and I will be right back, and we'll do exactly the same over there. Well, that was me being a bit of a sausage. I do apologise, guys. Those mask things were for relic crafting. I haven't quite delved into the relic crafting yet. I might be wrong. Maybe it should be the first thing I should be doing every day when I wake up in the morning. But I haven't delved into it too much yet. But here we are. We're on the Kale account. You can see I've got a much healthier amount. And even though I made a mistake on the Galek account, I'm still going to go for all those points on the Kale account because I like to keep both of my accounts at the same level. So even if I make a mistake on one, I'm making a mistake on the other. Plus, it's a chance to get more legendaries. And who doesn't want more legendaries? You know, I want more legendaries. I bet you want more legendaries. So I'm just going to go for it. So we're going to pull stock. Come on. Join the team, stock. There he is. What a guy. What a guy. And I actually accidentally pulled a epic from the summoning pool earlier on today. So I do have a couple of points in this already. I already had 250 points. So I've got 750 points. But I'm going to pull until I get those rewards. So let's get into it. I'm going to do 5 at the start. See how many that gets me. I might get 5 legendaries back to back. Which would be absolutely terrifying. I wouldn't know what to do myself. I'd probably throw my computer across the room. But I'm going to pull 5 sacreds, not legendaries. 5 sacreds first of all, and then see where we are. So, sacred number 1, let's go. Straight out the gate. Oh, yeah. That's pretty good. Karja the Rye. Karja the Rye. I'm not 100%, but I have gone against this champion in PvP, and she's pretty good. So I'm interested. I'm absolutely interested. So on her A1, I assume she's a her. She might not be. Attacks one enemy, heals this champion by 10% of their max HP. If any Timmets are on the same team, heals all of them by the same amount. On her A2, revives all dead allies with 50% of their HP and 50% of their turn meter. Then places a 30% crit rate, increased crit rate buff, and a 30% increase crit damage buff on them for 2 turns. If Timmet the Fool is on the same team and dead, revives them with full HP and full turn meter. If Timmet the Fool is on the same team and alive, resets the cooldown and instantly activates their Kegs of Dread skill. Now, Timmet was a fragment fusion, I think. A fragment summons, and I do have him on both of my accounts. So this is quite interesting. I think this might be the first sort of paired champions that I've ever had. So this could be quite interesting. It could be a team in my PvP, maybe. I don't know. I don't know how good they are together, or if this champion's just pretty good on her own. It's always nice to have another reviver in there. So maybe if I just build her with complete survivability and speed, maybe she'll be quite nice as a reviver. And then on her A3, fills the turn meter of all allies by 20%. Also removes 2 random debuffs from each ally. If Timmet the Fool is on the same team, removes all debuffs from all allies. Then places a block buffs on all allies for 1 turns. And then on her passive, all turn meter reduction effects are decreased by 50% when used against this champion. If Timmet the Fool is on the same team, this champion is immune to turn meter reduction effects. If an enemy tries to decrease this champion's turn meter, then Timid the Fool is on the same team will fill this champion's turn meter by the same percentage instead. And she has increased ally speed in all battles by 19%, which is pretty standard. So, straight out the bat, on my Kale account, we got a legendary. We got Kaya, the Rye, I'm going to say her name is. But moving on, that's Sacred Shard number 1, and we're going on to Sacred Shard number 2. Come on, game. Oh, what is going on? This is some good luck. I'll take that as a win. Uko the Mighty, a staple champion on my account. I use him in live arena, and he's just great. He's just great. So I'm sort of familiar with his kit, but I'm not familiar with the wording of his kit. But I will just go through it. So, attacks one enemy, has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff for 2 turns. On his A2, which is his good skill, this is a good one. Attacks all enemies 2 times. Each hit has a 100% chance when booked to remove 2 buffs from the allies. Places a block buff debuff and a 50% decrease accuracy buff for 2 turns on the target that have no buffs after the attack. So he's great for Stone Skin. That's why people use him. That's why I use him in live arena. And if I don't use him, he's a good. Well, if I do use him and he makes it to the team, he can remove Stone Skin. And if I don't, if I use him and he doesn't make it to the team because he's voted out, then I just try and blitz him with pure damage, because on my Galek account I have Georgid, who can also do damage against Stone Skin. So it's a bit of a win-win on my Galek account. It's harder on my Kale account, but I've got a dupe of him because I've got him on both accounts, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then on his A3, revives all dead allies with 40% HP, then places a block damage buff on them for 1 turn. Also places a 30% increased speed buff on all allies for 2 turns. Will place the increased speed buff even if there are no dead allies. And then on his passive, has a 50% chance of stealing 1 random buff from a random enemy each time a buff is placed on the enemy team. This will only attempt to steal 1 buff for each type of buff placed simultaneously. For example, only 1 random buff may be stolen if 3 shield buffs are placed at the same time. Any stolen buffs become protected, which is that's a pretty good skill as well. If it wasn't for the randomness, if it was steals a buff, or a specific buff, then it would be pretty cool. The randomness makes it a bit harder. And then on his aura, increases all ally speed in all battles by 20%. So that's legendary, well, including the stocks. Is that legendary number 6 on this video? I'll take that. That's pretty great. If not, it's legendary number 4 if we don't include the stocks. Today's a pretty good day, I would say. But moving on. I'm feeling good. Maybe I am pulling 5 and it's going to be 5 legendaries. He says. Kellan, the Shrike, not interested. I'm in the mood for legendaries now. This is feeling good. I'm feeling pretty great. Sekaramus. Those names, man. Someone does it on purpose. And another epic, a Seeker, a good epic. I have a Seeker in each of my clan boss teams because I've got unkillable teams. Let's go and see how many points we got. This is looking pretty good. I'm going to keep the energy. I'm going to keep it for when I need it for an event, for this tournament, for the Mad Hatter. Not tournament, this event, or whatever you want to call it. And we're going to keep pulling shards. Let's pull some shards. That's why you're all here. Let's keep going with Sacred Shards. But I need to keep count. I don't want to use too many if I don't have to. We've got 2,500 points. I need 5,500. We got Lock Wayne. That's 250 points. Another legendary game. Come on. You know you want to. Deathless. That's 500 points. Tagore, 750 points. I had to do the math then. That was difficult. A Seeker, second Seeker. My Seeker might be a +4 by the end of this. That'll help in my clan boss damage. What's that? What are we on? Are we on 1,000 points? So we need another 1,000 points. Hopefully it's 2 legendaries back to back. Come on, game. Come on. A bushy. A boring old bushy. Come on, game. One more legendary. A Geomancer, a legendary in an epic skin. I use him a lot. He's a big used champion in my accounts, so it's always nice to get a duplicate. Moving on though. What are we on, 1,500 points? Aina. 1,750. And a legendary to just finish it off. Not a legendary to finish it off. Pharsalus Gravedirt. So I think that's enough points. I'm not going to focus on Pharsalus Gravedirt. Believe it or not, I'm not really that interested in him. It's not enough points. I need another... My math was off, guys. I need another 1,000 points, so I'm going to keep doing Sacreds. It feels like a risky game, just like thinking about pulling Voids on the other one. Maybe I'll do... Nah, let's do Sacreds. Let's do it. I need another 1,000 points. So keep count, guys, because I clearly can't. We've got a Zargala straight out the bat. Not interested in epics, though. Zargala is quite good. She does a decreased defense, and she's a good damage dealer. We've got a Alika. Not interested in Alika. What's that, 500 points? Another epic. 750 points. Mist Rider Dithey. And is that the 1,000 points? Duck the Pierced. One of the epics that they released. They did a load of decreased defense epics all at the same sort of time. It was just Stag Knight on his own for a long time. Then they released quite a few of them, and Duck was one of them. Is that enough points now? It must be enough points now. My math isn't that bad. And there we go, guys. That is it. So I reckon that was 6 legendaries, which I think is a bit of a win, to be honest. I'm pretty happy with that. So there we go, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I would say that's 6 legendaries in total. 6 legendaries across both of my accounts. I think that is pretty good. I think that's pretty good. I've ended up with no Sacred Shards left over on my Galek account and only 8 on my Kale account, which is pretty rough. I like to keep a bit of a bank of them. I like to keep at least 7 Sacreds on each of my accounts. And on my Galek account, I've got 0. So that's looking a bit rough, but... for 6 legendaries, well, I'll take that as a win. That's pretty good going. So thank you very much for watching. Please do let me know in the comments if you got any game-changing champions or any champions that might add to your team or anything like that, or even any champions that you're not sure of. Please do let me know in the comments, and maybe I can give you a hand, give you some advice on where I think I would use them. As always, if you enjoy my content and want to see more of it, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you next time.